In today's society, the justice system has undeniably failed us. Murder, this is the grim reality we face. The brutal killing of a teenage girl, a simple girl walking home after spending time with her friends on what seemed like an ordinary day. But that day quickly spiraled into a nightmare of deadly events. This is the story of Susana Morales, a 16-year-old who was abused and murdered by a former officer. Why has the legal system let us down? And how is the punishment different when the perpetrator is someone in a position of power? Let's delve into the tragic tale of Susana Morales, a story laced with lust, revenge, and rage. The Morales family's last glimpse of normalcy faded on the stiflingly hot evening of July 26, 2022. It was a Tuesday, a day that dragged on endlessly, unknowingly filled with an undercurrent of looming despair. At precisely 9:40 p.m., a faint glimmer of hope appeared, a message from Susana to her mother. "On my way home," she wrote. A short, simple text that would soon become a haunting memory. That message, now etched in her parents' minds, marked what would be their daughter's final connection to life. Little did they know, this brief exchange of closeness would soon unravel a devastating series of events, opening a Pandora's box of sorrow that would shatter their world. They waited anxiously for her to walk through the door at Santa Ana Drive, but Susana never came home. The hours that followed felt agonizingly slow, each tick of the clock dragging them deeper into a reality that no parent should ever have to endure. The morning after Susana Morales disappeared was filled with despair, and as the sun rose, her family knew she was gone forever. Police arrived, met by an overwhelming sense of sorrow, and began a frantic search for clues. A chilling discovery emerged: Susana's phone had been active between 10:07 and 10:21 p.m., tracking her along Singleton Road as she headed home. But she never completed the journey. Somewhere along that lonely stretch, she vanished, leaving her family with only questions and heartache. Her route home, once routine, had become a painful reminder of their loss. Susana Morales was more than a daughter and sister. She was a young girl with a life stolen too soon. As investigators probed further, they found that between 10:21 and 10:26 p.m., her phone pinged near Oaklock Trace and Steve Reynolds Boulevard. Did the battery die? Or did someone turn it off? From that moment, it was clear Susana wouldn't make it home. The investigation pressed on, and on February 6, 2023, a breakthrough came. Officers near Drowning Creek in Barrow County reported finding what they believed to be human remains, just 20 miles from where Susana Morales had last been seen. It was devastating news for her family and the community. Soon after, reports confirmed that a former Doraville police officer, Miles Bryant, had been accused of kidnapping and murdering the 16-year-old. The charges didn't stop there. Bryant was also charged with attempted rape, further deepening the tragedy of what had happened to Susana. For nearly a year, the Morales family had lived with the uncertainty of their daughter's fate. It would be months before they learned the unimaginable truth: she had been abducted and killed, allegedly by someone who was supposed to uphold the law. Bryant's involvement sent shockwaves through the community, as local reporters rushed to cover every grim detail. Conversations in the area shifted to fear, with warnings for young girls to avoid being out alone. What was once a safe neighborhood had now become a symbol of fear and distrust. Bryant's name became associated with felony murder, malicious intent, and the false reporting of a crime. He was the man accused of taking an innocent girl's life. But what had driven him to do it? Investigators watched Bryant closely, unsure if they had uncovered the full truth. While Bryant was a key part of the tragic puzzle, the question remained: was he the final piece needed for closure in Susana Morales' case? In due time, investigators uncovered crucial evidence linking Miles Bryant to the murder of Susana Morales. As they delved into his background, they discovered troubling details that painted a clearer picture of the former Doraville police officer. The warrant application revealed that Bryant lived near Morales' home at the time she disappeared. Disturbingly, it was determined that he had dumped her naked body in the woods on the outskirts of Windscape Village Lane. While police suspected Bryant of rape, a lack of solid evidence meant he had not been charged with that offense at the time of his arrest. His history of criminal behavior only added to the complexity of the case. Another revelation surfaced: Bryant had previously been accused of filing false police reports. His last report claimed that someone had broken into his vehicle and stolen his gun. However, questions lingered: where did the gun actually go? And was the vehicle even his? It became evident that investigators were dealing with more than just a common criminal. They were facing a man whose psychological issues seemed deeply rooted. On January 10, 2024, a grand jury in Gwinnett County issued an indictment against Miles Bryant, revealing new, alarming details about his background. This indictment included 5 charges, one of which was a serious allegation of attempted rape. Amid these allegations, jurors disclosed a statement indicating that Bryant had knowingly attempted to commit the crime of rape and had kidnapped Susana Morales, actions that constituted a significant step toward carrying out that crime. It raises a chilling question: what kind of former officer could commit such heinous acts? Not only did he rob a young girl of her promising future, but he also eroded public trust in law enforcement, the very institution meant to protect the community. Jasmine Morales, Susana's sister, expressed her heartbreak upon hearing the news. "I'm completely shocked. Honestly, I have no words. I didn't expect it. We didn't know what to expect, but an officer was probably the least on my mind," she said, echoing the disbelief felt by many in the community. Following the indictment, Bryant faced an arraignment hearing on February 1, 2024, with his trial scheduled to commence on June 3, 2024. A wise man once said that a society with a high number of prisons is a society that has fundamentally failed to create a safe environment, where crime is the exception rather than the rule. The tragic death of Susana Morales highlights systemic failures that extend far beyond one individual's actions. Despite their relentless fight for justice, Susana's family encountered numerous inefficiencies and loopholes that jeopardized the punishment of the accused. They have been vocal about their outrage regarding the systemic failures that ultimately contributed to Susana's death, demanding accountability not just for Bryant but for the entire system that allowed such a tragedy to occur. Their concerns are sharply directed at the hiring practices of the Doraville Police Department.
The very important thing that we would like to mention is that there should always be justice.
Susana Morales' mother, Maria Morales Salgado, said through an interpreter she still misses her daughter very much. She marked the painful anniversary by going to her daughter's gravesite at Gwinnett Memorial Park and laying flowers.
It's very sad. It's very difficult to deal with. Today, July 26th, is a year after Susana disappeared, and that was the last day that I was able to see her.
The tragedy surrounding Susana Morales has ignited fierce criticism toward the Doraville Police Department's hiring practices. Susana's mother, Salgado, expressed her deep disappointment at the minimal background checks conducted before personnel were hired. A more thorough investigation should have been done before this individual was employed, she stated, emphasizing the urgent need for accountability. The family's lawyer, Alex Northover, highlighted the numerous missed opportunities that could have averted this tragedy, pointing out that there were clear warning signs, including multiple allegations of stalking in the past, yet no actions were taken. This situation raises serious questions about whether these institutions are truly capable of safeguarding the community. Why are they entrusted with our lives if they can't protect us, was a sentiment echoed during rallies protesting the systemic flaws that led to Susana's death. A life is lost, a girl who cannot be replaced. The world has been robbed of her potential, leaving behind a gaping void that no one else can fill. Salgado visits her daughter's grave every day, finding a semblance of peace in knowing where her daughter rests. "I know her remains are here," she said. "Justice is for the person who murdered my daughter to be imprisoned. I know he is detained, but it's not the place where I want him to be." Susana's heartbreaking story serves as a chilling reminder that those sworn to protect us can sometimes become the very predators we fear.